Freeland. It's your boy Freelancer Joe, ready to once again get cracking. And looky at what we have today. Actual LaCroix. Yes, I'm back to the regular stuff. Well, that's not entirely true, and if there's one thing Freelancer Joe prides himself on, aside from being Freelancer Joe, is, looking good. Obviously, that goes without saying. That's like the sun being proud of shining and being honest. And I still have one more can of this Waterloo to go through, watermelon, which is pretty good. And I've actually been drinking LaCroix at the office, but those are what I would consider the C and B tiers of flavors. Let me see. So the lime is C tier. Lemon is B tier. The pamplemousse, is that B or A tier? I'll go ahead and put it on A tier. And then the stuff that I normally drink, like the peach pear or the mango, I mean, that's A tier. The coconut is S tier. I mean, it's up there. Well, S tier. What is S tier? Well, for those of you who play a lot of Japanese role-playing games, are familiar with S tier being their highest ranked tiers usually. Not sure where that comes from culturally. I mean, I guess the S could stand for super or superior, but then again, of course, why would the Japanese use an S word when they probably no doubt have some other word for it? Or do they? I mean, I'm sure the Germans would have a word for it. They probably have a word for above A grade. But hey, the Germans have a word for everything. Alright, and let me go ahead and set things up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask you all how you're doing on this fine and wonderful and glorious Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday afternoon. Feels like a Wednesday to me. I actually suspect what that stems from is my old training routine. I would just train Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Then I switched to, was it Sunday, Monday, rest Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest Saturday. To compensate for my advanced age and the need to recover and not train so intensively, despite looking like all of this. And so I guess even though I've been doing that for, I want to say almost 2 years now, mentally I'm still not accustomed to it just yet. And furthermore, I still haven't fully adjusted to the daylight savings time shift. So I suppose it's a good thing that I will be starting a new project to completely shake up the routine and hopefully kind of tire me out and get me set correctly. I hope. That's all the hopes. Let's open up. Let me see. What are we going to need? We're still working on the calendar stuff, so let's open up the documentation for the library we're using, Reactive Calendar. Let's open up Amazon in case I need to add another event just to demonstrate that I am doing stuff. Okay, so it's still logged into that. That's good. We'll open up another. No, it's not logged in. Let's go ahead and sign into that. Don't look at my password. And that's interesting. It's Webpack. Hope my voice is projecting. I'll have to remember to project. What are we going to need? We'll probably just need Dynamo in case we need to add new events. Let's look at the tables. The one table we're using. Hopefully my connection isn't too slow. Aside from the usual VirtualBox overhead, I am currently downloading the latest patch for Destiny because Season 5 has now officially started. And of course there's a new patch, a 12 gigabyte patch. So I'm being smart, I'm downloading it while I work. Although if it interferes with my work, how smart can it be? Well, but if I download it while I'm working, it won't interfere with my me time. So I guess that's probably more important. Not that I'm self-centered or anything. Alright, ls cd ui-demo. So let's start up the demo and try and remember what problems we were having. But yeah, so I hope you're doing fine and wonderful on this glorious Tuesday afternoon. It looks like it's warm outside, or warmer anyway, but there's a slight wind going, so it's actually fairly, I wouldn't say chilly, but nippy. Nippy works. And my thoughts and prayers go out to all of the, oh no, actually that's tomorrow. I was going to say thoughts and prayers out to the FedEx and UPS workers who have to deliver all of the Amazon Prime stuff ordered on Cyber Monday, but they'll actually have until tomorrow. Tomorrow's the crunch date, I believe. Although I did actually receive a package because I did order something. Actually, I ordered two things yesterday, but one was going to be for regular mail delivery, so I should get it by the end of the week. The other one, I didn't have a choice over it. It was sent next day. As a rule, I actually try to avoid Cyber Monday sales, believe it or not. Mostly because, well, I'm never in a real rush, and I really don't want to overwork the wonderful folks at FedEx and UPS. Okay, we've got the demo came up. That is bueno. Let's open up the calendar. That is bueno. Okay, so we're still not by default. That property is not being updated. That's interesting. It's not being updated. Let me look at that. So it should take in calendar. And it should print it out, but it does not apparently. I wonder why it's not picking up that property change. Or maybe it is, but it's happening too soon? Let's double check that. Okay, so now that's kind of bugging me. Oh boy. I hope the mic didn't just cancel out. This is my clanmate. I don't think you're picking this up, but the Xbox app just sent me a message, and okay, so it's still recording. And I'm hoping the mic is still working. We'll see, otherwise we'll get an earful of classical music. Calendar did mount, that's fine. Calendar, propositions, application state. Calendar, it has the events. Okay, so for whatever reason, the calendar did not refresh. Alright, so that's definitely a library thing. Interesting. Let me see. Classes, calendar, this.props. I wonder if I have to, touch it somehow. I mean, I guess the smart thing, and probably what I'll have to do eventually, is put it into the application state. Or not the application state, the view state. But we'll deal with that later. So what we were trying to do is we were trying to figure out what date is showing on the calendar itself. That way we can know what month value to pass on when we make the call to the API gateway. And I was having the issues. I have many issues. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do. But I was not figuring out what the date was. Right. So, this is my suspicion. I think it actually should be the event. Well, not event, but there's actually an undocumented, or if it is documented, I can't find it. I don't think this is actually an event that gets passed to it. That's what I like about the Material UI documentation. It's a little bit better about what parameters get generated and passed. Or maybe it is, it's just the way they worded it. I can't tell in the code. Let's see what that does. And I'm going to break again to type to my buddy, and hopefully we're still recording. We're still recording? Yeah, we're still recording. I hope you can still hear me. Calendar. What I want to see. Oh, see, that's in there. Okay. There we go. There's the date. That is good. So it says December. Is it December now? Yeah, it's December. And if we go back, November. All right, perfect. Perfect. So now we're finally getting the date, but now we have to change how this all works. So we're going to need a function. We'll call it, I'm actually impressed how well this worked before. So there was an old way of like manually creating the reference, but I remember there was a warning about that. I forgot what it said. Basically, it was a bad idea to manually do it. There was some inconsistency, potential issues. Handle change. We're changing the navigation. Let's call it handle calendar navigation. Bind it. Handle calendar navigation dot bind this, and we'll create a function that will take that value. It's not an event. It's actually we're going to call it date. We'll call it calendar date. Calendar date. Now let's go ahead and log it and see if that's actually showing up correctly. I'm not bothering to set the state just yet. Calendar date. And so instead of doing this alert, we're going to do this dot control V, and we'll go ahead and rename this. Not that we need to, but just to be consistent. Let's bring this up and let me see about replying to my buddy again. And we're still recording. Okay, nice. Did this compile? Yes. Did this come back up? Yes. All right. Go to the calendar. Clear that. So hopefully when we Click on this. We'll see a log message that shows the date value. Date, there we go. All right, let's go back, get it again, go back, get it again. Okay. All right, so now we have to pass that parameter from the view page to this. All right, so this is where we... Oh, that's why. I need to debounce. That's why the calendar thing's not working right. Or not, why it's not initially loading it correctly. I'll have to remember to do that. Well, that's interesting that I just call it like that. Oh, because it's a function, isn't it? Right? Yeah. It's the manager. Okay, all right. So when we change the navigation, we are going to go ahead and let's create a filter. Let filter object equal a JSON. Let's just pass in date Kate. I don't think I've ever met a Kate. Calendar date. And we will make this call. I'll have to remember to do that debounce. But in order to do that, I'll have to... so what is a debounce? Basically, it delays the actual call. That way the page fully renders, and so then when the properties do get updated, the application, React knows to refresh the page. Let me see, and we pass in the filter object into access AWS. And let's go look at the manager for AWS. I believe it takes in the filter. Perform access key, well, it says data. All right. So we'll pass in data to the lookup calendar events. It's not really data though, is it? Yeah, we'll consider it data. And data in here. And let's log it and see if we actually get it. We should. Should be pretty straightforward. So let's save all. And I shall reply to my buddy again. Nerds. Ooh, that's kind of iffy. I don't know if it's going to take that or not. Nerds. Well, the thing says it's still recording, so let's see. Calendar. Okay, here we go. So it passes in on that initial load null, which is... I don't know if that's fine or not. That might not be so good. I might have to alter the lambda some more for that one. Basically, if it's null when the parameter gets passed in, ooh, but then I check for that. Okay, all right. I know that. So, okay. Basically, what I will do is, if this guy gets this and data is empty, we will use the get now, or we'll get the current date according to JavaScript, and we'll pass that in for the month index. All right. But for now, what we're trying to see is if it makes the call again if we pass in the date. Okay, calendar is starting to access for that with data date. Is that a string? Okay, I don't know if that's a string or not. No, I don't think it's a string. I think it's actually a date. Okay, all right. All right. So let's check that. JavaScript is date. That's VB script. Check if. Let me see. JavaScript. Can I do a has method? No, has. Oh, has on property. Has that worked? Check if object method exists. I'm actually kind of surprised that there isn't a okay, I guess that'll work. Alright, so if data and really Joe, you copied the entire thing. Type of data dot get month equals function. So for now, let event month index equal 10. We'll change that later. Okay, so now we need to split this value again, right? Yeah. Oh, no. We don't need to split it, do we? Okay, let's see what it actually returns. So I'm going to say data.getMonth. Let's see if, okay, let's checking to see if a camera froze. I'm still wondering whether or not, oh, me is not defined. I can't believe I did me. Oh. So right now my buddy's wondering, he just bought the Forsaken for Destiny 2, but with Season 5 starting, we now have the new season, so that means unless you have the annual pass, you don't get the new stuff. Alright, do we get with data? No. I didn't see that show up. Alright, so was it this check if data and data... Really? That looked like it should have worked. Well, let's see what happens if we just remove this particular check. We'll still want to make sure that we check for data to begin with. Hopefully I can pass in the correct parameter. I'm going to try and get that before the session ends. Data.getMonth is not a function. Nerds. Data.date. That's why that wasn't working. Data.date. If data and data.date and data.date.getMonth. Probably not good to have things that are so very similar with just one letter differentiating them. Probably not. That's the sort of thing that bites me in the tushy. The very masculine tushy. Data.getMonth is 11. All right. Oh, neato. Okay. All right. So then we'll just... So it got the month of that. It returns the month index. That's good. Plus event month index. I'll say that's 10. Event month index equals data.date.getMonth. And we'll see how that works. I want to see if it makes the call for December. I mean, if it does, that's great. I should do better type checking on that JavaScript thing. Well, I could. And bear in mind, I mean, I'm the one calling the code, so it's not that hard to figure out or to ensure that the value is there and correct. So now, does it make the call for December? Ooh, looks like it did. And it made that. So did it return the event for December? Let's see. Calendar. Events, one event. Another manual event. Was that the one we have for December? Another manual event. December. Yes, yes. All right, so we made the parameterized call. Still got to beef it up some more. As well as, did it even show up? No, it didn't show up. So we'll need to address that too. But yeah, we are about at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. Thank you for joining me. Cool kid words about liking and subscribing, commenting, and suggesting. And I hope you join me tomorrow as we continue this, and that until the next time you join me, that you take care and God bless.